Today I'm going to show you a couple of tips of how you can actually protect your peace and come out victorious. So the first thing you want to do is actually set up healthy boundaries, okay? You want to establish these healthy boundaries in love. Let's just say, for example, that you find out that you're always the one in your family doing other things for them, and somehow you end up being the enemy. Or when you go out with your coworkers, you always go out and you have a nice lunch, you're always splitting the bill 50-50, but you hardly order anything, and they order very expensive meals. So instead of you leaving that area feeling drained and feeling as if you're being used, by having a conqueror mindset, right, it'll actually teach us to be able to walk in love, but keep small things small. A lot of people, psychologists and therapists and other coaches, they are terrific people, and they tell you, hey, just ignore the small stuff, just kind of let it ride, choose your battles, and just kind of let it go on. But what happens is that at the end of the day, you're going to feel emotionally drained, because not only are you not protecting your peace, you're not protecting your energy. You ever have that phone call with that friend or family member, and at the end, you're just like, oh, you just feel completely drained, you know? So what happens is that the only reason why we feel drained when we're hanging around these certain people or interacting with, you know, certain people over the phone or at work is because our cup is half empty to begin with. Imagine this analogy. If you have a cup and it's half empty, whatever you pour into someone else or whatever you pour out of it, you're not getting it back. This way, at the end of the day, you had an idea, you thought you wanted to go for a workout, you thought that you wanted to go do this or that, but you feel so tired that you might just find yourself eating some food and going to sleep. So to protect your peace, we have to first remember our cup has to be full, not half full or half empty, but our cup has to be not only full, but overflowing. This way, the residual that you give to someone else is not taking away from who you are. That love that you have for someone else first starts with the love for yourself. So in order to protect your peace, you first have to have self-love. I know a lot of people don't understand this concept, but if you don't fully love yourself and you do things for self-care, such as when's the last time you took a long bubble bath and kind of just sat in the water for a while? When's the last time you listened to some good music where just laying down and just sitting back with a tall cup of, you know, ice cold water or something? When have you done something just for you that you enjoy? A lot of times we find ourselves kind of hustling and bustling through the day, and we don't have enough for ourselves, which makes us kind of become a begrudging host to someone else. We want to cook dinner, we want to do that, but we find ourselves being a little sharp, a little rash, and then it's almost as if people are unthankful for what we do, when in reality, it's all about the perception, the way that we're looking at it, because we didn't have that love for ourselves first. So let's go ahead and let's set those healthy boundaries in love by saying, hey, you know what? I go out for a meal, and let's just say we go half. You and a buddy, or you and a male or female partner go half on the bill, but they usually go for the expensive and you go for the less expensive. This time you just say, hey, you know what we're going to do is I'm going to pay for what I purchased, you can pay for what you purchased. This way you don't go home and you feel as if you're being used. This way you don't go home and you feel as if your energy has been depleted. See, and again, I love a lot of these psychologists and therapists and other coaches. They're terrific, amazing people, and they make really good points. But when someone tells you, avoid what they just said, just kind of keep rolling, water off a duck's back, avoid this comment, or avoid that, and don't let it really bother you, or don't address it, just avoid it, and maybe they'll stop. They don't. Unfortunately, there are great people out there who are amazing people in this world, but sadly, there are some people that are bullies. There are some people out there who are users and abusers. So if you avoid the comment that the supervisor at the job said, or if you avoid the comment that one family member keeps on saying every time you visit, you avoid that comment over the phone, or that instant message, or the email, because you want to take the high road, what happens is that, you know, someone's like a bully. They come by and they look at you first, right? They try to intimidate you. Then they come by and they try to touch your pockets to see if you have any money. And if you avoid all that, now give them the green light to assault you. And now they're robbing you of your joy, your peace, your happiness. And this is how, I talk about it here, the monster, right? Having a conqueror mindset, this is how he operates. He wants you to avoid the small stuff, which is almost like an ostrich sticking their head in the sand. And I had said this before, but ostriches do not do that. They don't stick their head in the sand. They don't do that. Because if they did, they would actually suffocate. And this is what happens. A lot of times we're suffering in silence because of the fact that we want to take the high road, or we just want peace, and we want to avoid conflict, you know, and that's fine. It is. You know, I love avoiding conflict if you can. But if you can't, you have to take action. It's almost like a country. Any country that wants to have peace has to be a country that's willing to go to war to fight for that peace. you, in order to have peace in your life, you have to be willing to fight for that peace that you want in your life.